Hi, this is
Alright.
Rex.
Hey, this is Cole.
And you were telling me something about this, like, Steam Deck thing?
Yes, it's called the Steam Deck. It's a new kind of console, kind of just a gaming PC sort of handheld thing.
Huh?
It's pretty neat. Let's just watch the video and then we can discuss a little bit more about it after.
I'm Beau Moore with IGN, and this is the Steam Deck, Valve's brand new handheld gaming PC. I'm here at Valve, where I've spent the last few days going hands-on with the Steam Deck, as well as chatting with the people who made it. We've got a lot to cover, so let's dive right in.
When I first saw the Steam Deck, I was a bit thrown off by its control layout. The thumbsticks are in line with the D-pad and face buttons, which looks a bit odd when you're used to the more offset angle found on most controllers. However, as soon as I held it myself, the layout felt completely natural. The full-size thumbsticks felt precise, and while the D-pad wasn't quite as clicky as I'd like, it was fully serviceable for rounding out some quarter circles in Guilty Gear Strive. Similarly, the face buttons and bumpers all felt solid, and served me well through a few runs of Hades.
It looks like it's running pretty cleanly.
Yeah, so when they talk about the stats for the system, it's actually really
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
And like the
Triggers
price
did-
point is sorry, go ahead.
Feel a little bit squishy for my taste, but it's worth noting that I was using a non-final hardware unit, so it's possible that things might improve there as Valve tweaks the deck before launch. On the backside are 4 rear buttons, a welcome feature for anyone who's grown accustomed to using pro-style controllers like the Xbox Elite.
They got the back
Paddles. So what's actually nice about these paddles is they're not like designed to be. Okay, most paddles on most controllers are not their own individual button.
Mm-hmm.
You have to program them to be mapped to another button on the controller. In this case, they are buttons all in and of themselves, and you can map them to whatever you want. So that makes, say, the idea of maybe playing an MMO with a controller more feasible.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, because you have 4 more inputs than you would have had normally.
Yeah, I could always use more inputs.
Mm-hmm. So it's nice.
These, like the rest of the buttons and other inputs, can be fully customized to whatever you like thanks to Steam Input, Valve's commitment to making useful custom key bindings available for almost any controller layout. Underneath the thumbsticks are one of the deck's standout features, 2 precision trackpads, which give you access to mouse controls for games that don't play well with a controller.
The trackpads here are an evolution of the same technology that we've been working on since the Steam controller days and experimenting with internally. You also have seen some of our trackpad work as part of the Index controller, for example. They can be used for many different things. We have a keyboard that lets you do dual thumb typing. In-game, you can map them to areas of the screen.
These guys need to eat. I mean, I'll just say.
For the mouse
They're not
cursor to
that
jump
skinny.
there and be kind of a one-to-one region type input. You can create on-screen menus that pop up on top of the game and have many customizable like macro buttons or keyboard keys.
didn't hear that
And you
the
can
first
just
time
use
around.
it for.
What'd you say?
So I didn't hear that the first time around. They said that you can put a menu on screen for custom macros. So I guess it's kind of like in World of Warcraft, they had those mods where you basically just got little extra widgets on screen.
Yeah.
In this case, you can maybe have like macros on screen, like overlaid over your game, to be like, do this when I hit this button.
That's cool.
Mouse input, where it's really powerful and reliable for the people that are comfortable with that sort of input.
Both the thumbsticks and the trackpads are also capacitive, which means they can tell when your finger is on them. Combined with the internal gyro sensor, it gives you a weirdly precise level of control.
That is
after-
nice. I forgot that they had that too. So on the Switch, like for stuff like Splatoon or first-person shooters, the gyro is surprisingly intuitive. So I'm glad they put it in here. It's really nice.
Brief adjustment period is honestly not far off from using a regular mouse. Yes, even in first-person shooters like Doom Eternal. Finally, the 7-inch screen is touch-enabled as well, giving you yet another option for controlling your games. The Steam Deck will draw immediate comparisons to the Nintendo Switch, but while it might look like a handheld console, Valve's device has much more in common with a desktop gaming PC. The Steam Deck
This is why you like it, huh?
No, I understand why you would say that.
runs a
No.
custom version of Steam
Yes,
OS
I
that gives you a
wanted
You like it that it's like a PC, I'm sure.
console-like experience on the surface, but under the hood is a full-blown PC.
It's a PC. We don't think people should be locked into a certain direction or a certain set of software that they can install. If you buy a Steam Deck, it's a PC. You can install whatever you want on it. You can attach any peripherals you want to it. Maybe a better way to think about it is that it's a small PC with a controller attached as opposed to a gaming console.
I think it differs from these kind of platforms mainly because you
I
can
wanna
just
know the specs,
customize your
dude.
experience. And
Yeah, they're gonna
use
talk
all the
about it, but
options
yes,
at
that's
your
very
disposal
important to
that
me
are
as well.
typically associated with PC gaming.
There's two things: spec
we
and
think
build
that
quality.
while that there will
Specs,
be a
I already can know,
pre-approachable
but like build
entry
quality
point
is
where you
something I'm like,
can see the games that work really well by default, and
If this is-
and get a
they
pretty
give you a good
seamless gaming
price point for a
experience.
spec, I
If
might
you
have
want to
to
go
pick
one
this
step
up.
further and use all of these
well,
options,
get ready.
I
you
might
can,
have to pick this up.
customize
Like,
your
this
controls,
sounds like a good
your
deal if
level
it's a
of
good price.
performance, battery
People are
life,
pre-order like let me
use
like,
Steam
It's pre-order?
Workshop
ordering
or
it
even
droves.
mods that are outside of the Steam Workshop. All
It's
these
a lot.
options that are dear to
type of
to PC gamers
GPU is it using?
are fully supported by the deck.
What type of GPU are you guys using?
This means you can do pretty much
we'll see.
anything on
I'm
it
gonna
that
just
you
fast forward a little bit. I don't really care. Shut up.
no problem. You could even wipe SteamOS
Yeah. It's all commercial bull crap. I don't really care. Okay.
are fully functional here. You can start playing a game on your desktop PC,
I mean, look at this.
save
I mean,
and quit,
they're
then
clearly
load up
playing
and continue
that-
playing
that
portably
game
on your
on the
Steam
Steam
Deck.
Deck.
Well, if it's a PC, it should be able to do all of that. So.
Like
not
with Quick
surprised.
Resume on the Xbox
But
Series
yeah,
X.
but I mean,
You
Valve
got cloud
can play it,
saves.
right?
I mean, come on.
Also told me that they're looking into ways
should
to
all
cloud
work out of
sync
the box.
suspended
This is a
games
PC hardware
between
kind
desktop
of
and deck, meaning you could
Okay.
potentially hop between platforms without needing to save and quit. But that functionality will be functional as
It's all
separately,
available
but
on
a
Xbox
standard USB
anyway already. Come on.
Yeah.
capable of
If
running
you can't
both
find it
Windows
here, it's
and
on their
Linux
website
games.
too.
I played
They
a
have
bit
the
of
specs.
Factorio and Death Stranding with mouse and keyboard on a 32-inch monitor, and if it weren't for the deck sitting docked next to me on the desk, I would have honestly just forgotten that it wasn't running off a traditional desktop PC. Of course, a PC gaming device isn't worth much if it can't play games well, but worry not, in the power department, the Steam Deck is no slouch.
We've been partnering pretty closely with AMD on bringing up next generation APU and developing the main board and the software solution.
So it has to
around
be at
it.
least DNA.
It has like 4
Zen
cores
2.
of Zen 2,
Zen 2, yeah.
architecture CPUs with SMT enabled, so up to 8 threads. And the GPU is based on the very latest AMD RDNA 2 architecture, which supports all the latest features like ray tracing and variable ray shading. The total APU combined power is about 2 teraflop, which should let people play the games that they have in their library without issues at 720 and provides lots of horsepower to that effect.
Better than
2 teraflops puts the Steam Deck in the ballpark of the Xbox One and PS4. In practice, it's actually more impressive than that. Since it targets a 720p resolution, which is more than enough for the 7-inch screen, the Steam Deck is able to play current-gen PC games at medium to high settings at smooth frame rates. While I wasn't able to run benchmark tests during my hands-on time, I played Death Stranding, Doom Eternal, Control, and several others, all of which looked great and played smoothly. The deck
Maybe
comes
you
in
plug it
3
into a
different
monitor,
models,
that's
but
something
power-wise
weird.
they all have the same internals. The only difference is in storage space. The base model has 64 gigs of storage for $399. Moving up to the 256 gig model costs $529, while the top end will cost $649.
It's not cheap.
Not cheap.
That's for sure.
Now, it does have expandable storage, though.
Oh, does that have bandwidth storage? That's good.
Yeah.
For 512 gigabytes. All 3 storage devices are SSDs, however, the 256 and 512 gig models use an NVMe drive for even faster load times. And while the internal storage itself can't be upgraded, there's an SD card slot to expand your storage even further, which games can be installed onto and played directly off of. The Steam Deck will be available this holiday season.
I have mixed feelings about it.
Yeah.
I wish it was a little bit more powerful, honestly.
I'm happy. So here's the thing. I play indie games a lot.
Uh-huh.
It's almost it takes up almost entirely what I play.
Right.
Except for JRPGs and stuff like that. And even then, JRPGs aren't really power intensive
Uh-huh.
for the most part. So, for me personally, I think it's fine. What I'm mostly concerned about is battery life, because they did not talk about that at all.
Do you know what type of pack it uses? Spec?
Let's see. We can actually look. So it's on the website right now. You can actually look at it. You can look at it on Steam right now. It is Steam Deck.
So yeah.
Okay, are you on the Steam Deck website right now? Yes, there you go. So let's see. There should be some things that say speeds and feeds. Tech specs. Here we go. Battery. So it is 8 hours of gameplay. So it's 2 to 8 hours of gameplay, which is actually comparable to the Switch.
Yeah, it's basically like a Switch.
So, okay, all right. The only thing I have that maybe concerns me is that
It's not bad priced, actually.
so the Valve Index. I don't know if you. Well, I mean, you've heard of it. Apparently, its build quality is kind of lackluster.
Okay.
It breaks a lot. So I am concerned that when you get this, you will need to replace it within the year. That is my concern. I think that in this case, the only things I would be concerned about are the
It
joysticks.
looks real solid, but who knows?
Yeah, but I'm afraid the joysticks will drift, and because they
you have
aren't
to, you have to put your
Joy-Cons-
hands on it, so like,
Mhm.
like of course, in the video it looks awesome.
It looks really good, but like my problem is the joysticks
Yeah,
are probably the ones from the Index.
you gotta click on it. You gotta click on it and feel it to know how good quality it really is.
No, that's not what I mean though. Like, you know how the Joy-Cons, Nintendo's Joy-Cons, like they drift a lot.
They used, yeah.
So I'm concerned that that will happen to this, and because the system does not have replaceable controller bits, you're just stuck. You've got to replace the whole unit. And that's kind of what I have the problem with this thing. Or that's the problem I have with this thing still, is that I would prefer, instead of having these touchpads and stuff like that, let me just make a tablet, like a tablet PC basically, and just like let me put a controller around it. Like, there are plenty of options that already exist for controllers. Do that instead. Or at the very least, do a Switch thing where I can replace the parts. Or just make it so I can replace the parts if I need to. That's all I care about. Like, just make it... If it's going to be a PC, you got to make it a little bit more modular, in my opinion. That's the only complaint I really have, is just build quality. Like, I'm concerned about that.
Well, no, when we see it. Who knows?
And we'll know when we see it. I'm considering still picking it up because...
Build quality, it's like, you can't really tell. Like I said, even... Let's say we get it and the build quality is awesome. Then it's fine. You know, you don't need extra controllers or whatever you want.
True, but that's like, you know...
But if
That's
it's
the best case scenario. If it's bad,
if it's bad, it's, you know,
and
then
Valve has
we'll know.
Valve has a reputation for making kind of crappy hardware, but really good. Like, okay, the hardware will always do what they say it will do, but the actual build quality of like the plastic and stuff, like the Steam controller, is kind of meh.
I never
Stuff like that.
got it, so I can't tell you.
The Index is also like rife with problems.
Okay, here's what I would want.
Mhm.
I'd pay $800. Just give me better GPU. And that place. Like,
I think they're keeping it. I think they want to keep it at that.
Yeah.
I think they want to keep it at the same amount of power because they want to make sure that when you make something, because again, the reason why I was saying I'm going to buy it is if you make something for this system, then it should be able to run on any version of it. I think because it is kind of a console, people are going to expect console-like behavior. So and that's why I'm considering getting it, because I want people like I make games, and I kind of want to make sure that if I release games on Steam, that they will be able to run on this console.
Yeah, it would be good for developers for sure.
Yeah, I hate it because it's expensive, but I'm like I can see the value in getting it, so I might pre-order it.
Yeah.
Because I know it's gonna be, again, like I've been seeing like on Twitter. Now again, Twitter's not a really good actual sort of measure of what people actually think.
Sure.
But if I look at Steam Deck, like I can see that like people are like struggling to get like a unit. Wait, what does it say?
Sure.
If you manage to, it says if you manage to secure a Steam Deck today, congrats. The bad news is your unit may not arrive till 2022.
Oh, screw that.
Yeah. By that time, a freaking Switch Pro might come out.
No,
So
I would like this more expensive. Give it to me at 800, but replace my gaming laptop. I'll use this as my gaming desktop. Boom. That'd be awesome.
yeah, I think that would be cool.
Yeah, that's what I think I'd rather have, but whatever. Just hook it up to my monitor and just use it like a gaming laptop. Boom. Pretty cool. And just take it on the road if you need to go mobile. And it's small enough that it's like I like small form factor stuff lately, so
You can take it around the house. I think that's my kind of thing, is that I could just sit in like the living room with this. Like I have a lot of
you can
indie
sit in the
games.
living room, then you can go dock it on your desktop when you get, then you can continue playing. That'd be ideal. So
I mean, the problem is I already have a desktop that works and is
Yeah,
good, and I'm like, I
that's why
don't need this.
yeah. Well, you
Sorry,
don't.
go ahead. I don't. I think you would. I think it's a good sell to you.
I'm not getting it.
But I'm saying
because
for your kind of
It's too
person.
weak to place my gaming. I'm probably my next big purchase is a gaming laptop on the gaming front. If I'm gonna buy hardware,
I see. Okay,
That's
fair
what I'm
enough.
looking- And you get one. You get one with better hardware for, I guess, it's gonna run you 1,000 right now for a good gaming laptop.
Mhm.
But it's gonna be pretty primo compared to this. It's gonna run
I don't know.
4K and
I mean, if people want I
ray
guess the thing
tracing,
is that, like,
4K, and all that.
yeah,
fun
all
stuff.
those buzzwords.
Yeah, all that good stuff apparently. So
I mean, this could push 4K. It just would have
no,
to
it
be running
can't.
like
This can't.
like
They
a N64
designed it
game.
for 760. So
It'd have to be running like a game that's like 3 polygons in a small room.
you can run
That's how you
Mario.
get, that's how you get to 4K.
Yeah, you can play. Yeah, you can run old games for sure. For
Yeah, you can run old
1080
games.
1080p.
That's I mean, for me, that's my purpose for something like this. Old games or indie games. That all being said, can't. I don't need this, or I should say I don't even need it. It does not fill a purpose in my life because I've already got a gaming computer. The only reason I want this is for development. I like the idea of having this kind of carried around the house, but it's not a big deal for that. It's not such a big sell that I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to play like Super Meat Boy on the toilet or something. Like it's not.
I think it's a fair deal though. It's not bad.
It's not. Oh no, it is really cool. That's the problem. Like, it is really cool. I can
There's
understand
definitely
why
a
so many
market
people
for this, and I'm sure a lot of
Yeah.
people will pick it up.
I think it'll do really well. I'm actually kind of like, after I've seen so many people just jump on the train, I'm pretty impressed. I'm pretty impressed.
They're not trying to rip you off, at least.
Yeah, they're not. They're not.
It's not
I'm just-
the best pricing, but it's not rip-off pricing for sure. It's like
No.
it's fair for what type of hardware it costs these days. Everything's so expensive right now, actually.
And I've kind of been waiting for something like this for a while. Because the PC market has kind of been, I don't know, it's. I mean, okay, honestly, the PC market is Windows based. I don't really like using
They're
Windows.
kind of
but I
screwing
do
you on
it.
the NVMe pricing, though. To be honest,
What do you mean? Sorry, God.
they're kind of screwing you on the NVMe pricing because you
What does that mean?
like it's $100, it's $130 for what $250 was how many?
For storage.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
It's definitely inflated on the storage end for sure.
Yeah, and they probably won't lower it because they
Don't have to, and someone
don't have to.
They,
I think that the
people
only
will pay
reason that
for
it's
it.
this,
Because everyone's
I
gonna
think
pay for. Most people are gonna try to get this mod. I'm thinking.
Mhm.
64 is just ridiculous, right?
64 is tiny. Again, if you're me, and like most of the games you're downloading are like measured in the megabytes, this
But-
64 ain't gonna kill you.
Okay, is this running Windows? What is this?
It is running SteamOS,
Oh, okay,
which is why I like it.
that's why you can run 64. You can run it. But
Mm.
I guess that's good. I don't know how much SteamOS takes though.
Not much. It's Linux.
Yeah, like everything else in the world.
Yeah. I just hope this means that I don't have to like. I hope that this finally makes it so people start migrating to Linux as their main OS.
You're dreaming, dude.
I am probably, but God, I hope so.
No.
I am tired of dealing with Windows.
No, Windows is here to stay.
Like, I'm seeing like Windows 11 and all of the bullshit that they're pulling in. Pardon my French, by the way. But it's just, yeah, it's just so bad. It like I shouldn't even say it's bad. It just there's so many features I just don't want. I don't need all of this extra bloat. Just let me have a freaking taskbar, Windows, and like Office, and that's all I want. That's all I want. That's all I've ever wanted. I don't need all this extra news, weather, whatever. Just no. Like Cortana. And screw all that. I don't care about any
yeah,
of it.
that's the most annoying thing about Windows. I wish they could just shut off Cortana.
I wish they would just give me the bare bones version, like Windows Lite. It's just like it's literally just Windows. That's it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome too.
Mhm.
But
I'm hoping. I'm hoping
never
for
happened.
Valve.
That's never happening. They
Anyway, but the main thing is that there's a new
need
there's a
to
new
sell more product to you. That's why.
yeah, well, exactly.
They
Well,
have to
that's
put
what-
in the
that's
App
what-
Store and all this stuff.
That's what SteamOS is, right? Like SteamOS comes with Steam because it's SteamOS.
so they have to sell their games on it. So there you go.
But that would mean that basically games are meant or will be built to run with Linux. And if games are built to run with Linux, you can use any operating system you want, basically, for the most part.
Okay.
So, yes.
Anyway, to be continued. We'll talk about that some more. Some other.
Yeah, maybe if I decide to pick one
We'll
up.
talk. We'll talk about it when it comes out. How about that?
Yeah, it's gonna be a while before it comes out too. So,
Yeah. To be continued, guys.
yeah, to be continued.
In the very, very far future, apparently. Or,
Yeah.
But,
Ugh.
all right. Thanks everybody
Farewell.
for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment.
Please do all the things.
Thank you.
Thank you.